All right, what is up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and welcome to the Juice is Loose, episode 55. This week is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to talk about video games. We're going to be discussing the movies of 2015. Basically did the same thing about this time last year. Maybe it was a little later last year, a little later in the year. But if you want to hear me and T's thoughts on most recent video game news, go to the AGL podcast number 44. Where we discuss quite a bit, and then even further, myself and AGL, our active Red Knight, and Leveled Head answered questions for about 2.5 hours or 2 hours on the podcast he's airing tomorrow. So this week it's just gonna be all about movies because I'm sick of talking about games. Talk 5.5 hours this weekend. So here to discuss movies with me, I have Ms. T.
Here, fools.
And that's it.
Welcome to the Juice is Loose movie talk.
All right, and back from a long hiatus, we got Jay Fleming back on the Juice is Loose.
What's up, people? How's everybody doing?
It's been almost exactly a year since we did this last, so seems kind of fitting. So basically, we're gonna run down the movies we've seen so far this year. Kind of give our thoughts on it after we each say which movies they are. Discuss what we liked, what we didn't like, maybe some movies we wish we had seen but didn't get a chance to see, and then we're going to end it by discussing what's left for the year. Some pretty big hitters coming later this year. So I'll start off. I haven't seen too many movies. It's been kind of busy the last month and a half for me, so I've only actually got to see Mission Impossible. Is the only movie I've seen since Jurassic World came out. It started off the year with the Duff, which was kind of a teen comedy, was pretty funny. Then I saw Age of Ultron, Mad Max, Jurassic World, and Mission Impossible 5. So it's been kind of light for me, but still some good movies in there. So that was my list. Next we'll go with Jay.
All right, my list was Jupiter. I started off the year with Jupiter Ascending because my list ain't as bad as it normally is, so it's gonna be real quick. It started off with Jupiter Ascending, then went to Furious 7. From there, I went to Avengers: Age of Ultron, Mad Max, and I didn't get a chance to see Jurassic World, but that was one that I did want to see. Terminator Genesis, Ant-Man, and I got to see the Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F movie. Yes, I'm a fanboy.
All right. So you started off the movie awesome. Jupiter Ascending and Furious 7. There's some really highly critically acclaimed movies right there.
I know,
I'm interested to get your take on it, but before we get into that, let's hear Ms. T's list.
All right, mine was pretty similar to Jay's actually. Jupiter Ascending was the first one I saw this year as well. I saw Mad Max Fury Road, Age of Ultron. What am I missing? What else did you say, Jay?
Did you see Furious?
I didn't see Furious 7. No, I didn't
Terminator?
see Terminator. Didn't you see Terminator Genesis?
I saw Terminator Genesis.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, and there's one more I'm forgetting.
Jurassic World?
Jurassic World, thank you. Yes.
So I can't believe I'm the only one that didn't see Terminator Genesis in this group.
You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing.
I'm exposed as a fraud, but anyway, so let's talk about. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on one of the more critically ridiculed movies of the year, Jupiter Ascending. Since I haven't seen it, I still want to see it, but let's just real quick. Was it as bad as the reviews said it was?
No. It wasn't as bad as they were making it out to be. It wasn't great, that's for sure. But, yeah. You want to go, Jay?
Yeah, because the only thing I can say is it's one of those movies where, like, it wasn't... I think, like, a lot of people expected one thing when they went in there, and when it wasn't that, they couldn't just watch the movie.
Yeah. And that's not entirely their fault because they did kind of pimp it as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And plus, if Sean Bean's in a movie, Sean Bean has to die. If Sean Bean doesn't die, that's a strike against the
Something
movie.
doesn't feel right. You feel like the movie closes like something didn't happen that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Was the dialogue as bad as some of the highlights I've seen? People pointing out some of the
There's
bad
definitely
dialogue.
Some of it was bad.
cringing, dialogue in there.
Some of it was bad, but like in regards to like context, so it kind of made sense if you watch the whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Wachowskis, they need to stop directing, and they should just me and Jake talked about this. They should just go into like producing and doing cinematography or something, because producing as far as like, because their set pieces are beautiful and their cinematography is great, and the concepts are usually really good. They're just really poorly executed.
I don't know if. See, I think they need to stop being the writers. I don't know.
And the writers, yeah, well, yeah.
I think with better writing, I think their directing, are decent.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to give all that up. But I will say, which I'm going to talk about my final thoughts, they've completely redeemed themselves as far as directing and writing with their Netflix series Sense8 that they created.
You were the other one that liked Sense8.
And I think some of the best characters, like as far as writing wise, like I just really fall in love with that show. So they've kind of redeemed themselves to me, and I'd like to give them a chance with Jupiter Ascending, but I do agree that they take too much responsibility.
Jay, would you like to?
I'm not saying nothing.
We'll talk about it. That's a TV show. We'll save that for another discussion.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing.
So anyway, so let's just real quick kind of. We'll rank. You want to rank like the movies that you saw this year, and then we can kind of pick the best ones and to talk about further. I already know mine. Mad Max #1 for sure. Mission Impossible close second, and then The Duff was number 3 ahead of Age of Ultron and Jurassic World. That movie surprised me. Very funny and it's typical college. Teenage humor or high school teenage humor, but it actually does some things quite a bit different that caught me off guard. And so that was my top 3.
Tell me about that. I didn't go see it. I wanted to see it.
It's out on video now, and I'm gonna pick it up on Blu-ray when it gets $10.
Yeah.
But surprising how funny it was.
Oh.
But anyway, what are you guys' top 3s?
Mine, I guess it's pretty similar. Mad Max is #1 for me. And this is obviously based on what I've seen. So, Mad Max is #1. I just had it in my head. Jurassic World's #2. Age of Ultron's 3. Terminator Genesis is 4, and Jupiter Ascending is 5.
All right.
Okay. Again, mine also is based on what I've seen because there were a couple movies, like I said, I missed. My actual #1 is actually one that I didn't think was going to be one of my favorite ones, but it's actually Ant-Man. I actually love that movie. My #2 is Mad Max. My #3 is Avengers. My #4 is Dragon Ball, and my #5 is Fury 7. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but yes, Fury 7.
Marvel fanboy.
DC fanboy.
Here's a funny story about why I didn't go see Ant-Man. I had scheduled with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I got home. I was going to be on Saturday. On Friday, got home from work, opened up my garage door, and there's like this black-winged, thought it was a bee or a wasp in my garage. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I kill it, and I see like 3 more. And it turns out they were ants. They were carpenter ants, the winged ones.
Mm.
Whoa.
And they were infested in my little side door to my garage, which is detached from my house. So I spent most of the night trying to kill some. All I had was wasp spray, and anyway, I ended up replacing the whole door, basically the whole thing, the arch or the trim, I had to take everything out, put a new hung door in. That took all my Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't get to go see Ant-Man because of frickin' ants. And then I found later in the week they got into a different area, so I spent the next 2 weekends taking care of that.
Being a homeowner. Yeah.
I was like, fuck. I'm not going to see that movie because of the stupid carpenter ants. It cost me $500 to fix everything they destroyed. So
Dang.
I just
Irony though.
it is so.
That's crazy.
Since let's see, we all liked Mad Max, so let's talk about Mad Max.
Okay.
You know, I thought that movie by the trailer just looked kind of whatever. I'll watch it on the rental. And then I started hearing people talking about it, like, holy crap, and then it wasn't because it did well at the box office, but it wasn't until I heard firsthand impressions from people I knew saying the movie was great. And I actually didn't even check Rotten Tomatoes or anything at that point. Looked on there, saw it was like at 97% or something ridiculous. So I just said, whoa, I better go see this movie. And I didn't have a whole lot of expectations other than, I mean, obviously they were elevated from my previous expectations, but I mean, what a surprise movie for this year. Just like Edge of Tomorrow was for me last year. Just a pleasant surprise and kind of it's like a throwback to the old style movies like that with, obviously just amazing, like the cinematography, the technology they're using. I mean, the visuals looked amazing. I feel like I'm talking about a game right now, but just everything my eyes were seeing was just blowing me away. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So that was my initial impressions. We can take a little deeper if you guys want to pick up where I'm from here.
It's an old school movie with like new school flair.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, yeah, that cinematography was amazing. Like for me, I was a little worried, like, because the trailers were so damn good to me, and I was like, man, is the best part of the movies in that trailer, and that's all, and the rest of it gonna be kind of boring? Nope. And nope, not at all. I love the fact that they went practical on pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it because I just miss it. We were in this world in the last 20 years even of just like CG backgrounds, and you know they're CG backgrounds. You can tell, like your human eye can see these things, and it was just great to see real fire and not digital fire. From everything, set design, costume design was great. The vehicles, it was just so gritty. I just miss that 80s grit that you just don't see. Everything's so damn clean today, and it had that grit that I loved from like the 80s movies. Even like the children, quote unquote children's movies from the 80s had grit to them, like Dark Crystal for one. And it had that lived-in look and lived-in feel. I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to like ruin the story for anybody, but
no.
It was a great ride.
All right, Jay. So
Charlize Theron, she stole the show.
Who was?
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
And the thing that I loved about the movie is just it's so simple a story. I'm not going to say what it is, but the plot is just like so simple, and so much spectacular crap came out of it.
I know. That's like let's tie it back to video games. That would be like focusing on gameplay first, and then you have awesome gameplay, then everything else just falls into place. When you have awesome stunts and awesome design, with basically George Miller knew what the movie he wanted to make, because there's no way that accidentally came up with that as he went. Like he knew what he wanted to make from the word go, I think.
Yeah.
So Jay, anything you can add to that?
4 words: George Miller, Charlize Theron. I mean, that's pretty much, because George Miller, like you said, he brought it like it needed to be brought.
Yeah.
I mean, visually, he brought it like it needed to be brought. You can't do a movie like that fully CG because it just ain't gonna feel right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. And Charlize Theron, I love her.
She rocked in this movie. Like,
and didn't even explain why her arm, or why she had a mechanical arm.
Right. They just didn't care. It's like, we don't care. This is what she has. Yeah. I love that.
So, I guess, what was your favorite? Is there anything in particular that you just really loved about the movie? For me, it was the guitar player, dude. Like, that was so cool. Because it was the soundtrack of the movie was this guy on this big vehicle playing this guitar with all these amps. Like, that was the soundtrack of the movie. like,
That was so clever, and it was perfect. Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing from it.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
a second favorite were just the white dudes that are spraying like the silver spray paint on their teeth and stuff.
Yeah, those ghost dudes.
It's just amazing. So we got a question related to Mad Max. We'll just kind of pick away at the questions as they relate to the movies we're talking about. Anderson Archilla says we're getting another Mad Max movie called The Wasteland, which I didn't know for sure. Does he put Hasbane, I guess Hasbane, make a good substitution for Mel Gibson? He's okay, but I think Mel Gibson really added something to the role that I don't think. What the frick? What's his real name?
I always forget his name too. Thank you.
Hardy. I don't think he brought what Mel Gibson did, but Charlize made up for that. So if it was him by himself, I don't think it would have been. Me personally, I don't think he would have been a good replacement. But
I mean, it's so unfair because Mad Max is such an iconic character. It's almost like when they do the next Han Solo or Indiana Jones, it's gonna be like, okay, how does he compare to Harrison Ford? Well, yeah, no comparison. There's not gonna be a comparison. It's like, who's the next Michael Jordan? Yeah, some guys are gonna be pretty good, but nobody's ever gonna be that guy in that role. So, and because Charlize Theron was so good, and she stole just every scene she was in about. It kind of took away from Mad Max, but he was still really good as Mad Max. I liked him a lot. So
he seemed to be a lot more crazy than I remember.
He was, yeah. Well, I don't know. I go back and watch. I recently watched
Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome. Like, he was out of his mind.
Okay. So yeah, I've only seen that. That one's the one I've seen the least. So
because that one always comes on TV. Is Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch them all now. And that movie actually hits the Blu-ray on September 1st, so it's only a couple weeks away, which I'm so excited.
Cool.
And it sucks. Amazon has it for $25, and I'm like, I hate buying Blu-rays for that price.
Yeah.
Know that shit's gonna drop, but man.
I remember buying VHSs for that price.
I know, but for a little bit there, about 4 or 5 years ago, they actually dropped Blu-rays to like $16 when they were new, and that only lasted a year, so. Let's get on, and since Jay and myself, Jay had a different number one, which was Ant-Man, I believe, right?
Yep.
Why don't you go ahead, since T and I hadn't seen it, just quickly what you like about it, how it compare to other Marvel movies.
Well, number one, let me preface this by saying I can't stand the character of Ant-Man. I can't stand. I hate Ant-Man. I despise Ant-Man with a passion. But saying that. The movie was actually charming because I like how they took Scott Lang's character, because if you know anything about the Ant-Man comics, Scott Lang is like the second one, and like in the comics, like there was a reason why he was a thief, and I'm not gonna say anything about that because that's kind of in the movie, but it was kind of more on the it was kind of like a more simplified story, I guess you could say. As far as Marvel is concerned, with how they do their movies now and stuff, and I liked how Paul Rudd actually played it. I liked the one character I probably didn't like was Corey Stoll. I didn't like him as Yellow Jacket. I thought his villain was just weak. But one of the things that I did enjoy about the movie was, like, unlike most superhero movies where they go and the whole third act is this ridiculous action sequence, they kept it tight. It was just a one-on-one fight. And I appreciated that. Because anybody who knows me, one of my favorite movies is The Wolverine. And I love that movie all the way up until the last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
When they decided to go Wolverine versus Gundam Silver Samurai.
That movie could have been, something special if they didn't fuck it up.
Yeah. So, and I think that's what with Ant-Man, they kept it. They didn't do that. It was a one-on-one fight, and I really appreciated that. Plus, it was funny as hell. Like, your boy Michael Pena and T.I. will have you rolling.
Yeah, they look funny in the previews.
Yeah, because it's one thing that they do with Michael Pena is gonna have you crying laughing. It had everybody in the theater like crying in tears.
So, so Red Knight's notorious for saying he's sick of Marvel movies just being all about the comedy. Do you feel like this was another one where the comedy was the main focus?
Yeah, no, but it helps because
Yeah.
if the comedy ain't there, you're not gonna like this movie.
Mm.
And that's just being honest because the character itself, like it, the character of Ant-Man itself is not like big enough to honestly like. It's
No
not
pun intended.
yeah, yeah, I know. It's not compelling. His character isn't compelling. This ain't Captain America. You know, his character ain't that compelling. So like the comedy has to, the comedy is what's gonna help the movie. And plus it's Paul Rudd. When the last time Paul Rudd did anything serious?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, so I think
Clueless. No, I'm kidding.
like you know, Captain America, Winter Soldier didn't have hardly any jokes and was amazing. And
Yeah.
what was the other one that
It had
did-
some levity, but it wasn't like
Yeah, it wasn't
punchline
all
after
so-
punchline after punchline.
As long
Yeah.
as they, I mean, don't do it every movie. Like I thought Avengers 2 used comedy too many times, and some parts were it was just out of place.
Yeah, it got a little annoying for me.
Yeah. Avengers 2 is a perfect example of them going overboard.
Mm.
That's Joss Whedon's kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, so what 2 years was Mad Max your number one? What was your number two?
Jurassic World, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that real quick? What you like about it? I know it wasn't the perfect movie, I can say there, but I think they got the most important parts right. So, why did it make number two for you?
Bryce Dallas Howard. She's redheaded.
I've liked her ever since The Village.
Redheads, man. I don't know. And I didn't marry one. That's weird. But anyway, no. I just thought Star-Lord was amazing. I don't know, something. It's weird because I've seen this guy, Chris Pratt, before, and other things, and he was just kind of a side character. I saw him in a really good movie called A 5-Year Engagement. If you haven't seen that, watch that. It's hilarious. It's what's his name from How I Met Your Mother? I can't remember the guy's name. The tall one from
Jason Segel?
Yeah, Jason Segel. Thank you. It's him and Emily Blunt, and they're like, it's a 5-year engagement, and basically Chris Pratt's in it, and he's like, he works in a restaurant. I think he runs it, and Jason Segel works there too. And every scene he's in, he's hilarious, and he just like him. But I'd never thought he'd be a leading dude, like, and I think I wouldn't like this movie as much if it wasn't for him in it. He has charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He held the movie together for me because there was stuff in it that, like the kids and their little, the little divorce subplot that went nowhere, like, and that stuff annoyed me a little bit. But I thought the set pieces were great. I thought the action was well paced. It was a fun movie. I don't think it was a fun dumb movie. I think it's been characterized as that sometimes, but I don't think it was completely dumb. I don't think it was really dumb or even just. I thought it was. I was intrigued by the story, like with the the dinosaur, the creating of the new super dinosaur. A lot of it just made sense. Like I believe that's what would happen if we had a working Jurassic Park. People would get bored eventually, even though there's these giant freaking monsters walking around. We'd eventually get bored with that, and so we have to do this super dinosaur. It made sense on paper. You wouldn't think it would make sense. You'd think, oh, that's lame. Well, they're just doing oh, we got to have an uber dinosaur because the T-Rex is so lame now. It's 20 years later, But that wasn't even the case, and it was cool because the T-Rex kind of redeemed himself there. So it's like even stuff like that with I don't want to give away the plot here, but there's just cool little things like that in the movie that make you care about the animals. I don't think other than like the docile ones in the original one, I didn't care about certain animals. I was surprised that I cared about raptors and T-Rexes in this one. It was like, wow.
In that last 30 minutes, I mean, that's the best
Oh, it
30
was
minutes
great.
of Jurassic Park since the T-Rex first was shown in
Yeah,
the first movie.
since the T-Rex scene where he's, the water and all that, and, the cup of water thing and all that stuff, like that was, to me, that was just pretty close to that feel, and it was scary, and it was, it had you on edge, and I didn't think I would be. Like I didn't think I was like, I've seen Jurassic Park, I'm not gonna be. I've seen it all basically. We've seen everything since Jurassic Park. There's no reason for this stuff to be like, whoa, having me on the edge of my seat, and I was really surprised by how good it was.
I wish they would have. That military subplot was probably my
the
least
military
favorite.
subplot. Yeah, I almost forgot about it because it was so forgettable.
I heard you did not like that part. You're like they could have left that out.
Yeah, that
Way
seemed
to
a little
take
forced.
Kingpin and
I
give him
know.
a shitty character. You
Oh, that was
have to-
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
D'Onofrio. What a waste.
Oh, shit.
What a waste. It felt like Lost World a little bit, and they were shoving in there. I was like, no, get that out of here. I didn't care for the Lost World. Most people didn't.
I rewatched that for the first time in 17 years. I was tweeting or texting you. I gave up. I saw it at the theater, and I never wanted to watch it again. After seeing Jurassic World, I was like, I'm buying this collection.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for dinosaurs, and I watched it. I didn't even make it through to the end.
I wanted to choke
So bad.
Julianne Moore in that movie, and the stupid girl with the gymnastics. I remember being in the theater going,
Here's
like,
the worst part for me. She's sitting there preaching, you can't even bend a blade of grass. We can't make any impact on these creatures.
Yeah,
What does she do? She goes up to a baby stegosaurus and pets it.
right. I
Like-
mean, you just broke your own rules in like
Talk
5
about
minutes.
making the most stereotypical double standard woman character you
I
could
know,
ever
that
make.
was so annoying.
It's terrible. And she was so smart, but yet she was so stupid. So before we go any further, I just want to say we're going to make this podcast a little short, so no more questions. We got enough questions, so I want to have everybody just hold off on any further questions. And no, I won't read the game-related questions. So
Was Bryce Dallas a throwback to her, you think, maybe? Because she was a redhead, and
Yeah.
maybe
I
that
don't
was kind
know.
of a little, maybe a little bit of a throwback.
possibly, I just have had a crush on her since first seen her, and so she was for me. It was nice to see her in a movie that was decent. The last time I remember seeing her was in Terminator Salvation, as she was pregnant and just a pointless character.
Pointless.
So
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think-
Whoa.
I don't think that was planned. I think she got pregnant and they just said, "Fuck, we'll put you in the movie still." But
Yeah.
so yeah, I like Jurassic World as well. I thought they did a lot of things right. Could have been better. I just still think they try to focus too much on stories that don't relate to dinosaurs that people want to see. But so my number 2 was Mission Impossible 5. Guess I'm the only one here that's seen it.
Yeah, I'll see it this week.
Tom Cruise for me delivers again. I know some people didn't like Jack Reacher, but I thought that was a pretty good movie. Since that movie, he's had Ghost Protocol, Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, and now Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. To me, those are 4 A movies. Like those, he's just the master at excitement. And now that he's like doing his stunts in every movie, and the dude's just ripped for 55, 56 years old, doing the stuff he does, and he's a great actor. I don't care. I
You're
mean,
making him a little older than he is. I think he's like 53.
is he? But
Yeah.
the dude has always been a good actor, and now he's found his niche, like action-ish movies, doing stunts that most actors wouldn't do, and finding good directors to direct movies with good, at least decent stories. The villains aren't exactly great. This one is a little bit better. But just getting a good cast together and having fun and making a really good, really solid spy movie with some action. And this one was probably the best one in my opinion. I know a lot of people like Ghost Protocol. I like this one just a little bit more. And just, I mean, I don't want to hype it up too much for you, T.
Well, dude, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Like Ving Rhames and anything. Yeah.
He's got more screen time in this.
I
one than
heard.
he
I
has.
heard. Yeah.
And but it's the only disappointing thing is it's less about the team this time, and it's more focused on Ethan Hunt again, kind of like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So I wish it would have been still. I mean, the team's involved, but it's not as big of a deal. It's more of him being a badass. The motorcycle chase scene was definitely the highlight for me. So.
Was it like the John Woo one? No, I'm just kidding.
No, this one, this was amazing. And then the female, I wish I had her name here. I'll look her up real quick.
Yeah, I heard she was great.
She killed it. Like she was
crushed.
Charlize Theron in Mad Max. Like the girl, just her eyes told you so much. And she was a complicated character. It wasn't just cut and dry, typical anything. It was like she was just a complicated character. You weren't really sure what side she was on or any. Like it was just a well-written character. And her name is Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah.
And she was in Hercules with Rock. So I might have to watch that movie now. But she killed it, and it was just a great movie. So.
Oh yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah.
She's really good, and they obviously had a stunt person doing some of her martial arts and fight scenes, but whoever they had it was like Black Widow, maybe even a little above that. Like the cool stuff she does in the Avengers. When it's not freaking
right, you could tell
Scarlet. It's not Scarlet.
Reacher and Edge of Tomorrow both got greenlit for sequels. So.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reacher.
I mean.
I don't know if they could do it Edge of Tomorrow, but
I don't know. I'm always skeptical of sequels, but Edge of Tomorrow was literally the best. It was my movie of 2014, and it's one of the best movies I've seen in the last 10, 15 years.
It's one of the best science fiction action movies, definitely in the last 20 years.
That and Oblivion, both for me, are just
Oblivion,
way up there.
So underrated.
So let's talk about some movies we didn't get to see. I got William 360 with me has a whole bunch of movies he's seen this year, and it reminded me of a couple that I really.
One movie he's seen a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, he's seen Jurassic World 15 times. I mean, so.
No lie, that's not a lie.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to see it at 16th time. Like, dude, could you be any more of a 16-year-old?
Seriously.
Most I've ever seen a movie in the theater was 3 times. I did it with Avatar, Jurassic Park, maybe The Matrix, I think. So those are like the 3 movies I've seen.
Yeah, that's my 3 too, man.
Maybe I've seen The Crow twice. I should have seen
The Crow. Yeah, The Crow I did see.
Oh, The Crow I've seen like 4 times.
I think I saw it 3 times in the theaters. Yeah.
So every other movie in history I've only seen once at the theater, except for those 4 or 5 I named. But Kingsman, I didn't see at the theater, and I haven't seen it on Blu-ray. I'm really upset that I haven't watched that yet.
Me too.
Good movie.
I hear great things.
Ex Machina, I really want to see that movie. It's about the AI, like android female. It's like a thriller, science fiction thriller. And what was the Pixar movie this year with the emotions in the
Inside Out?
Inside Out. So those are the 3 that I'm mad that I didn't see. Ant-Man, I'll just wait for video. I can wait for video on that one. But those other 3, I wish I had seen at the theater. You guys got any on your list?
Me, I got Mission Impossible because I really wanted to see that.
Still can. Go see it.
It was Mission Impossible, Jurassic World, because I had every intention to see that movie, and especially when it comes to dinosaurs and usually the end of the movie where they go nuts. So I had every intention to see it. I think those are the only 2 that I really wanted to see that I didn't get to see.
How about you, T? Any movies on your list that you missed?
Definitely. Hold on a second.
Da-da-doo-doo. Yeah, it seems like there might have been one more too, but Jay, that's while we wait for Ms. to see. Let's talk about the movies that maybe we were gonna see, then the reviews came out and looked like absolute dog shit. Which Fantastic Four was on the list.
That's taking the cake right now. Fantastic.
I was gonna go see that when I saw the first preview. I was like, I'm going to see that movie.
That's one of the movies I haven't seen. I'm gonna go see. No, I'm kidding.
Like that. Jupiter Ascending kind of got ripped, but it wasn't as highly anticipated. It seemed like there was one other movie that people were really looking forward to that got just completely shit on.
Terminator? No, not
Terminator was pretty bad. I'm getting an echo all of a sudden.
That's weird. I hear it too.
But anyway, we were just going to talk about that while you were getting your kids in order, but I don't know if anybody wants
so
to...
what was it about? It was about movies that I wanted to see.
That you want to see. That you wanted to see.
Yeah, Kingsman was definitely one of them. I kept saying, I'm going, before I knew it was gone. Mission Impossible, I'm going to see this week, no doubt. Dope. I didn't go see Dope. I wanted to see Dope in the theater, and...
That's the other one for me.
Yeah. So...
And we didn't talk about the #1 movie in America right now. I didn't...
Straight Outta Compton.
$58 million. Wow.
Well, you know why I can't go see that movie yet.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
I had to wait.
PG-13 or R? I didn't catch the rating.
I think it's R.
It should
be
better
R.
for it to be.
It's a hard R, yeah.
I'll say just real quick a story. When I was younger, my cousin, he always got bootleg cassettes and stuff, and I still remember the day I was at his house, and he's like, "Man, you gotta listen to this," because kids, it was cool that we heard swearing. And it was NWA on one cassette, and the other one was 2 Live Crew.
2 Live Crew.
we would just listen to that, like in the basement while his parents were upstairs, and just thought we were so, rebellious. But it's still a very fond memory of mine. So I do want to go see that movie, and I am a fan of Dr. Dre for sure. And Ice Cube's had some pretty damn good, funny movies actually over the years. So. Not as big a fan of his musically, but I still want to go see that movie. I might go see it at the theater.
I'm hearing the performances, and were really good. I heard that what's his name who plays Eazy-E was great. Like talking like Oscar.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him. Him and Cube's son.
Yeah, Cube's son was.
That's his son. I was gonna say he looks like him.
Yeah, it looks just like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, because they showed him on Conan with both of them side by side. I'm like, dude, that is creepy.
Somebody said there's a scene where he rubs his face and he looks just like Ice Cube when he does his kind of face rub thing he always does. Mm-hmm. I was like, I got to see this now.
Yeah. So surprised by the $58 million.
Definitely surprised by that.
I didn't think it was gonna make that much opening week. I thought it was gonna do good, but I didn't think it was gonna do that good.
It had to have been a fairly diverse crowd then, I would think, to do that well.
The marketing campaign was really good. Like that whole Straight Outta whatever meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that was like everybody was using Straight Outta, as for the meme and stuff. Straight Outta Hyrule and
Straight Outta Food Stamps.
Yeah,
so that worked. I think that worked a lot for them. So
a bunch of white teenage dudes going to see that movie like they're legit. Like at least I was.
Some white teens know what time it is.
Yeah, at least I was alive back then. I actually remember that their grow to fame. I've seen it happen. I was pretty young. So anyway, let's. William 360 with me has a very controversial statement. He says Fantastic Four was a 7 out of 10 for him. So.
I can't knock the guy for that.
I can't because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, it starts out, the first 30 minutes are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it just kind of falls apart after that. So for some people, maybe it didn't fall apart, But there's stuff in the trailer that is completely not in the movie. Mm-hmm. And that's the stuff that they cut out, that the studio said, nope, we're not paying for that or whatever. And I wish we could see the movie that Trank was trying to make. Like, I think it would have been
good on paper to start.
Yeah, because they greenlighted him. They gave him yes.
And they gave him $120 million.
They gave him the money, and they said, yeah, make the movie. And then they started cutting back. Like,
unless, it's true that he just kind of folded under the pressure. I mean, there's also those reports. So
it's possible. It's possible.
So, and William 360 with me says he hasn't watched Oblivion yet. He couldn't find it online. Dude, you're 16, man. You can't find a movie?
Seriously.
You should be. You show me how to find movies.
Amazon,
I don't download it legally, so I only buy purchase
Yeah.
movies, rent them. So
Yeah, I don't support pirates.
neither do I. So
Well, I support Johnny Depp. I mean,
Yeah, that's the only part I
not
support.
anymore. I've seen enough. So
Seriously.
all right. So let's get on to the movies left for this year. You know, we only got like 20 minutes left, so not every movie, obviously. Just the big.
Go
There's
ahead and get
obviously
Star Wars out
one.
of the way, because that's the
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, just go
Star
to Star
Wars, Force Awakens. They got the poster art revealed at Disney's D23 or whatever. Looks pretty damn good. I don't know about the old Han Solo on the cover, but um, actually the thing that got me excited the most was the Comic-Con
Mm.
stuff showing all the practical sets they built, because honestly that is one of the shortcomings of the prequels, other than the acting and the writing, was all the digital, like you said, T, we're talking about Mad Max. All
Right.
the digital sets, they just look so
Yeah. I
bad.
just feel like you're just watching a video game.
Yeah, I mean, the actors had nothing to go by, and
You could tell.
you could tell. And just seeing how excited they were to show sets and use film instead of digital cameras, and it's like,
The funny thing is, the actors that did okay or excelled even with the green screen backgrounds were theater trained actors,
Christian Lee.
because they know how to do that. Like, that's why Hayden Christensen was so terrible, because he wasn't used to that kind of stage kind of deal, So, yeah, that's it.
So
We missed a whole rant on that thing.
Force Awakens definitely that sold it, because I wasn't completely sold on the first couple the teaser and the trailer. I was like, yeah, they're definitely tugging at the nostalgia strings, but
You weren't
wasn't
crying?
sure. I wasn't crying until that little behind the scenes featurette, and that got me. So that's like is that November or December?
That's December.
December. Yeah.
All right, so that's definitely the big one for me. You guys want to add to that?
Well, yeah, I think that's a big one for all of us.
Yeah. Well, it's my second big one.
Oh.
Okay.
It's my second big one. There's another big one that I'm looking forward to.
We'll get that in a second. So what about Star Wars have you seen that you've seen so far, or just who's involved in it has you excited?
Actually, I'm excited to see John Boyega. He's like, I saw Attack of the Block a couple years ago, and John Boyega is a good actor, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing him. But the only thing that threw me off was I actually saw the interviews they did for him from D23. His voice don't match.
No, he's like, hey,
Yeah.
hey guys.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? So,
No, he's this really proper British,
Yeah.
accent, and it just throws you off because he doesn't look like he would deliver the accent.
yeah. But I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that. Han Solo, I'm with you. I love Harrison Ford, but I'm like, bruh.
Sacrilegious.
No, it ain't sacrilegious. He old.
I just wish they would have did this a little
They're
bit
all
sooner,
old.
but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just being honest, but I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to see how they do Kylo Ren. Hopefully they don't do no Darth. Hopefully they don't Darth Maul him.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't need that. I don't think that's gonna happen, but we definitely don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that to happen.
So should we expect some lens flare, you think, in this
Oh,
one?
yeah.
We were talking
I
about.
expect to be blind when I walk out the theater.
I don't mind lens flare like in space battles and stuff, because me and Jay talked about it, and lens flare lends itself really well to CG, or digital effects, because you're trying to pretend that something's fake is real, and that's one way to do it, to make it seem like these ships or whatever are really there and they're flaring off the lens, and that is understandable. But I don't want to see that in battles between like lightsaber battles or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't want that.
You know you're gonna see it though, right?
I hope not.
He's
I hope
gonna
Jake
do it twice. Do it, Abrams. He's gonna do it.
I hope he doesn't do it. I hope he doesn't.
Dude, we have a chrome bounty hunter. He's doing it.
all I can say is his remake or reboot of Star Trek still is one of my all-time favorite movies, and one of the best science fiction movies for me. it's right up there. I don't know. I wasn't even a huge Star Trek fan, and I didn't care as much for the second one, but that first one.
The
So
first one was amazing.
I'm hoping that he can capture some of that magic and getting Star Wars back on track. So.
Well, what he said is he wanted to, with the Star Trek is to Star Wars it, make it more, fast paced and more action, and he did that with the Star Trek. He made people who weren't Star Trek fans into fans, so that was cool.
All right, so Jay, what's your number one for the rest of this year?
Creed.
Oh, Creed.
See, I have not seen one trailer or anything.
Oh, you better go watch the trailer now.
Yeah, you need to watch the trailer for Creed. I'm looking forward to that one. And they kind of switched. They kind of moved that one up to November, so that's the Thanksgiving movie. So
that's
I'm
going
glad
up
they
against
moved it out of
Hunger
December. Mm-hmm.
That's going to go up right against Hunger Games then, because that comes out. Hunger Games not on the 20th.
I think Hunger Games comes out like the week before.
That's fine. They're two different movies.
Yeah, that's true.
They can coexist, I think.
Yeah.
So I have not seen even a screenshot of that movie. I have no idea what it.
Oh man.
I didn't even know what it was about until I at least read what it was, the idea behind it.
You gotta see the trailer.
The trailer is good. The trailer got me hyped for Rocky.
Mm.
And I've never been a huge Rocky fan, but
oh my god,
people
dude,
were crying
over right now, dude.
People were crying over Star Trek or Star Wars teaser trailer. This trailer had me crying. Like I was right back. I
like the idea of Rocky, but watching the movie's not like. It's just, to me, it didn't live up to my memory of it, and I still like the fourth one because that's the one I saw first when I was a kid.
The fourth one, that's the
Ivan Drago.
That's where Apollo dies, but
yeah. The reason why I like what they're doing with Creed is the fact that Rocky ain't fighting. Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to worry about that.
And they're taking the superhero aspect out of it. They're making it. They're setting it like more realistic, like they did with Rocky Balboa. They started to try to make it more dramatic and more like the original one was. The original one was more grounded, and then they got kind of superhero-ish with the sequels.
The last one I saw was Rocky V.
And Rocky V, yeah. See, Rocky V wanted to be realistic, but then it also had that cartoony part to it too.
They had the bull crap. I don't know what it was on that one. That one is 6. Yeah,
it was almost a good movie. But yeah.
So I'll have to definitely check out the trailer for that. And
Michael B. Jordan, man, he's coming up.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan is actually one of my favorite actors. So
yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything at this point.
You haven't seen Chronicle?
No.
No. What else is he in? What's that one movie with Zac Efron? Isn't he in that?
He was actually in Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
12 Station, The Awkward Moment.
There you go, Awkward Moment. That's the one I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those, so I better.
We gotta get you up to speed, man.
Yeah, we gotta get you. Gotta get you to watching some of these movies.
Chronicle's the dude that directed Fantastic Four.
Right. That's what got him Fantastic Four. That movie's great.
All right. So we're running out of time here. I do want to talk about my number 2 movie, then we'll get T's number 2, then we'll try to maybe pop off a few quick questions. Mine, which I wasn't expecting earlier in the year, is Mockingjay Part 2, and I'm slightly embarrassed to say that, but actually that was another movie I've seen in 2015. It came out in 2014, that's why I didn't really include it. I didn't hate, but Catching Fire was pretty lame. I did enjoy the first movie enough to watch the second one, and then I saw the third one through Netflix. They gave me a rental copy, so it only had like the basic surround. It didn't have like all the features, and it didn't have the good surround sound of Blu-ray.
Oh, lame.
But I really liked getting away from the actual Hunger Games part of them and getting into the actual story, the wars, between the districts and stuff, and I was really compelled by that movie. And then I saw the trailer for this Part 2 during Mission Impossible, before Mission Impossible, and it looks legit. I can't wait to see it. I might actually go to the theater for the first time to go see a Hunger Games movie in the theater. So that I'm pretty excited. And Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, I think she's a good actor. I think her celebrity kind of blew up way too much quickly. You know, she
A
got
little
too big too
overrated.
soon. She's been in some really good movies and in some really bad movies. I don't think she's a great actor, but I think she's a good enough actor. But I just liked her in that role, and I just want to see the conclusion, and hopefully it's good, better than The Hobbit's conclusion, because I thought that was pretty lackluster. So,
Yeah.
Tia, you got another movie you're excited for, other than Creed and Star Wars?
Batman vs Superman. No, okay. That's next year. I don't really know. Like,
I can't think of anything like.
I can't really think of anything right now. I know there's some stuff coming out that I want to see, but I can't think of
Isn't that Steven Spielberg movie coming out with Tom Hanks? That looks like it'll be a good movie. I just don't know if it's theater movie.
See, I don't even know. I don't even know that one.
It's during the Cold War, and they send him to like He's like a lawyer, and it's based on a true story. And they send him to like Germany to like negotiate, and it gets real. It looks like a pretty tense.
Yeah, I don't really go to the movies a lot for those types of movies.
Me neither. It reminds me of what was the one with the Hulk, the original Hulk guy?
Eric Bana, Munich.
Munich.
Yeah, Bana.
Kind of that style.
Yeah.
Movie. So Munich was really good too. So.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It's just that doesn't pull me to a theater. That's I usually go for spectacle type movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, the occasional comedy. So
I take it none of y'all are looking forward to Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension.
Man, come on.
Gotta hear that. Yeah.
More power to that dude for making all that money.
I couldn't. Barely made it through the first movie. I saw it at the theater, and this girl's like, "Oh my god, I was so scared." I'm like,
"Of what?"
Really watching this couple argue?
Like, what happened? Jump scare the movie. That's all that was like. Jump scare.
I'm really watching two people argue on a home video camera. Like, really? I just gave 10. It was terrible.
The funny thing about it is when people say like you were scared, I'll be like, "Of what?"
I gotta say, you know, the only time those movies are scary is when you're home alone and the lights are out, and you think about if that was real, you could maybe get yourself scared for a second. But actually watching the movie, there's nothing scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I'm so scared. Like, is it so scary? I'm like, no, it's not. I've seen scary stuff.
I'm about to go to sleep.
I think Red Knight's gonna lose all respect for us if we don't bring up Spectrum.
Talking about the Bond?
Spectrum. Yeah, that's
007. I couldn't finish Skyfall. Let's just say that.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Like I know they wanted the Jason Bourne, the Bond movies, but there's a reason why the Bond movies worked. They were ridiculous.
See, I guess I'm kind of a purist, but I love Casino Royale.
I did too.
I really liked
So you like Quantum of Solace?
Quantum of Solace. I actually like Quantum of Solace. A lot of people didn't like it.
I have that movie.
I have every Bond movie up to Quantum of Solace. So
why didn't you get Skyfall?
Skyfall just didn't do it for me. I don't know why people like that movie so much.
There's turned it off.
Good stuff in there, but the Home Alone ending, like, really?
Yeah.
Like, no, didn't work.
I want to like Spectre, but I don't see anything that's gonna, that's compelling me that I gotta go see this. I don't see anything in it.
I mean, I honestly haven't even seen a full trailer yet. I've seen a short TV ad or something.
I saw the full trailer. It was all right, but I'm like, dude, I want my ridiculous Bond back. I want the bad guy that's got too much money and too much time on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
I did like the parkour chase, on foot chase scene in Casino Royale, but they don't need to do that every time now.
Yeah.
I get it. He's more fit. He's a more athletic Bond, but Eva Green kind of made that movie for me too. She did really good.
Yeah, Eva Green's awesome. I love her.
That she is not ashamed of her body, and
I'm not either. I mean, she's not either.
She don't care how bad the script is. She'll get naked. Gotta respect her.
What was that Johnny Depp movie based on that TV show?
Oh, that was great. What was that?
The Dark.
The one where he's the vampire.
Yeah, Dark something.
She made that.
Dark Shadows.
Yeah, I loved her in that movie.
She was great. I loved her in that too.
So let's just get to some questions here. We're gonna quick rapid fire these. What do you guys think? This is from Capable Tie 7. What do you guys think of how Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and Black Panther are all going to be in Captain America: Civil War?
I think it's needed because of what Civil War is.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of need a lot of characters in that if you're gonna have them fighting each other.
Yeah.
And was Civil War originally a Captain America comic?
Yeah, it was Captain America. It was basically the main story revolved around Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's why, like, the characters that they need to have in there, they don't have the rights to.
Right.
So that's why you got Ant-Man and Black Panther was in it.
Black Panther's in it, yeah.
Are they gonna have Spider-Man in it, or?
Yeah, he's in it.
Spider-Man's in it now too, yeah.
Yeah.
They must have added that.
Yeah, well, Black Panther was gonna basically be Spider-Man's part.
Yeah.
Now they got Spider-Man, so that's why Black Panther movie got pushed back.
Yeah.
A little bit. So,
All
but I
right.
just think it's awesome to have have a comic book movie where you have Ant-Man and Black Panther in it. I mean, that's just crazy to me that that's actually a thing. So
I'm a little concerned because I thought Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie for me, and I'm just worried that this Civil War is gonna be more like Avengers and less. Like,
I think it is too.
It is. It's gonna probably be Avengers 2.5.
Yeah, and
But
Civil War was so good because it was like a spy movie. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the
espionage.
problem is they don't have. If they had all their characters, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, there was they sold them. It ain't nobody else's fault. They got broke and they started selling things, so that's on them.
I can't get them back.
Yeah.
So did the Avengers: Age of Ultron ending, is that leading to Civil War or the next Avengers movie?
That's leading to the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Ant-Man is the one that leads to Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, at the end of Age of Ultron, they had Vision.
Yes.
Was it Warhawk? What's his name?
Hawkeye.
No, him and Don Cheadle's. Iron Man.
War Machine.
War Machine, yeah. So anyway, let's get to the next question. Anderson Archilla, as I accidentally closed it, he was asking about the recently announced Pixar lineup. I'm guessing this is for the next 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure. Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Cars 3. Incredibles 2. Finding Dory, and The Good Dinosaur.
I'm actually looking forward to Incredibles 2, but the rest of that, I'm not really. I don't really.
Meh.
Cars 2 was trash. Toy Story 3 was great, but
I just don't know why they keep doing this.
that was a good way to end it. I don't
just
think.
leave it alone. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be another great one, but I just feel like you got 3 and 3. The third one was a perfect ending to that story. Just let it go.
Because the kid grew up.
You can come up with other stuff. Big Hero 6, give us another one of those. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Can't wait to. I keep forgetting that I want to buy that movie, and then I just
my kids watch it like every other minute. They
love that freaking movie.
Yeah, we love it. It works for them and it works for me.
What is it? Let's real quick. What is it with Pixar and having the girl characters have ghetto booties?
I didn't notice that.
Watch Incredibles again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tell me that mom don't have no ghetto booty. And then Big Hero 6, the cool, I forget her name, but she was a cool character and she had ghetto booty. So
Yep.
The Asian girl, or
was she Asian? I haven't seen it since January.
well, there's one that she has that power of cotton candy power or whatever it is.
No,
and then
it
there's
wasn't.
the girl in
the
the cycle. She's Asian.
Yeah, the Asian chick. Yeah.
I don't think that's the one I was thinking of. Isn't there another girl, like the main? Wasn't there like a main
aunt.
girl?
You talking about the
There's
aunt?
the aunt, and then there's like the girl that's in the capsule at the end or whatever.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah.
But there's only like 2 main girls in the group.
Because out of that whole lineup that they did at D23, I'm like, the only one I'm even care about is Incredibles.
Yeah, Incredibles is the only one that probably needs a sequel, I think.
Yeah, you should have got a sequel like
Long time
5
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah, I guess it's the only girl of the group that's not the aunt. So I forgot that was her power.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 girls in the group. Like, there's that one kooky one that has that
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
candy
That's
stuff.
the one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other one, the dark-haired one.
Okay.
But yeah, none of those, any of those other movies, other than Good Dinosaur, since it's not a sequel, that I know of. They did make a dinosaur movie a while ago, but Finding Dory, come on. I mean, we don't.
That's whack.
I mean, way
That's
too much Ellen.
a cash grab.
Sorry. Way too much Ellen. So I mean, it could have some laughs, but
Dory, she can get on your nerves quick, man.
yeah.
If it's
not
about
the best part of
grab.
the original. All right, what do you guys think of the Deadpool movie trailer? That's from We in360 with me.
We'll be watching in line. I'll be in line in February.
I'm going to see the movie, like no doubt. I just didn't think the trailer did much for me.
Hater.
The trailer,
there's that word again.
The Red Band trailer told me that there's at least going to be some pretty good action and some.
Yeah.
The fight choreography looks solid. I'm not sold on the whole Deadpool character anyway.
The comedy, so. I'm worried about it getting old quick.
Yeah.
Oh, the hateration is strong.
That's gonna be.
Dude, I'm going to see the movie. I can't be hating too much.
That's gonna be a watch from the comfort of my couch, so I don't have to worry about any awkward, non-funny jokes with a big group of sold-out theater.
I wanted to like it. I just didn't. I just thought it was. We talked about it already.
Y'all are killing me.
We're not all Marvel fanboys here, so.
No, Batman vs Superman. Now that's the trailer.
That was
skeptical. I was skeptical.
See, the thing about that trailer is it turned haters into lovers. That's how good that trailer was.
True.
It turned me into a fan because I just couldn't get over all the destruction in the first movie, and then.
And I was one of the few voices out there saying from the beginning, before they even said it, I said Batman vs Superman is going to be about that, bro. That's what's going to be the conflict between Batman and Superman. I said that before any trailers were out there. I was like, I know this.
See, I ain't gonna lie though. The funniest thing about that trailer was when you see Ben Affleck running toward the like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He's a crazy man.
I'm like, okay, so basically you're gonna tell a fallen building I'm Batman and he's gonna not hit you.
That said so much about his character. Him running into that, no costume, nothing, just.
I love when he gets that letter though, and the look on his face.
He ready to explode.
Yeah.
I guess this one's kind of related to movies. Capable Ty 7's asking about Star Wars Battlefront, and he's wondering why it features the old Star Wars movies. He says it comes with the old Star Wars games. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know about
it comes
that.
With. Is that true? Oh yeah, because the EA and I think it's only on Xbox though.
Or Sony. No, it's because the PlayStation has the Star Wars limited edition PlayStation 4.
Well, I thought you meant the old games. I thought Microsoft was doing something.
Why does it come with the old games? I didn't know that was true. So.
Oh, I don't know if that's true either. I just assumed that it was the case because I
don't know if it's just the old Battlefronts. I guess. Then why would you want to play those when you have the awesome, amazing looking?
But you get them for free.
New one. So, I thought he meant the old Star Wars movies. Why it was based on that instead of the new movie. So I misread the question.
Because those are the good ones.
Yeah. That's what I thought he was asking. But now that I see, then I don't know anything about the PS4 bundles. I don't follow too much Sony news currently. I am definitely a Nintendo fanboy. And a Sony. All right, a couple more questions here. This is a good one. I think you guys will be perfect to ask this for. Anderson Archilla, Blade Runner 2 is coming. How many more classics do you think they will defile?
Well, let's see. They're already defiling Ghostbusters.
They've been talking about defiling The Crow for years, and thank God.
Everybody keeps leaving, though.
It's just like, come on. Like,
what else did they?
If we weren't always right, that'd be one thing. But we're always right about these remakes. They're all bad. They always come out. The only good remake I can think of, I know there's another one somebody mentioned when I said this before. Only good remake I can think of that was actually better than the original was Man on Fire. Like it destroys the original. The original is trash compared to
Jet Li
Denzel Washington one.
Jet Li did a remake of Fist of Fury and named it Fist of Legend, I think, and that was
Fist of Legend.
That was awesome.
That was pretty damn good too. Yeah. I forgot about that.
But I mean, you can't like count Star Trek reboot as a remake.
No.
You know, it kind of was, but Blade Runner 2, that's a sequel, so it's like.
But it's a sequel, so it makes it a little better.
They did a sequel like Dumb and Dumber 2, like that disaster.
Yeah.
But as much as Blade Runner it was ahead of its time. I don't think somebody going back and watching it is gonna get too much out of it. In this day and age, it could definitely use the current visuals.
What is it gonna do though? That was part of what made Blade Runner so awesome back then. It was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So unless you just make some crazy awesome story, first of all, it's not gonna feel like Blade Runner if it's not a detective story like the original was.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna turn it into some damn action movie, some sci-fi action. Just get that shit out of my face.
I just thought of another remake.
No.
Frickin'
yeah.
Total Recall.
Total Recall, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just don't call that Total Recall, and I like the movie. I hate that it has anything to do with Total Recall. On its own,
but it's closer to the actual story than the movie. Yeah, it is. It is. It's because the Philip K. Dick story really, they didn't go to Mars.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot closer to what this movie was. But so what? The original movie was awesome, and the Mars stuff was key to that. So
I think if you make a sequel to these old movies, if it's been more than 15 years, it's been too long.
Yeah.
Your audience is too old. It's forgotten. People don't care as much. I'm not a huge fan of sequels anyway. I mean, just look at The Matrix Reloaded and Revelations, or just
really good. Just
leave The Matrix. Just leave the original Matrix, and it stands as one of the best science fiction movies ever.
Yeah.
You add those two to it, and it tarnishes it. It tarnishes it.
I mean, I don't mind it if it's doing something like what Creed's doing. Like Rocky's done. We're going on.
It's a spinoff. That's a spinoff. It's not a sequel. That's a spinoff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, it's moving ahead with the story though.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have a problem if it's like if they were saying, okay, with like Blade Runner, we're gonna move ahead with the story. With Ghostbusters, we're gonna move ahead with the story.
Ghostbusters, I don't know about that either.
Yeah. And the last one I heard about was like Hollywood was trying to do Back to the Future, trying to reboot Back to the Future.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, look what happened with frickin' Indiana Jones bringing that back.
Yeah. Oh, we brought all the original characters. That didn't matter. That
and
they
still fucked up.
It still sucked.
Because George Lucas was involved.
Right. Well.
And didn't who directed? Spielberg?
Spielberg directed that. Like, even though George Lucas was involved, Spielberg is your director. How did you let that happen, Spielberg?
He goes from Munich and Schindler's List, and then he just has some of the most ridiculous, like, science fiction, like, not science fiction, but his endings to his, like, more fantasy action-y movies are always just terrible.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, he'll have like 4 movies that are great back to back, and then he'll have like 2 that just suck.
What was that?
I mean, the fridge, the nuclear explosion, and
that was all Lucas stuff.
Yeah,
he wanted all that stuff in there.
What about the killer ant?
Gopher? Yeah,
the ants. That was all Lucas.
That was Lucas.
He wanted, yeah. The gophers, the ants, the refrigerated stuff, that was all George Lucas.
The only reason I watched that movie is because the THX logo is like awesome for surround sound if you have a good surround sound setup. At the end of the credits, I think, on the Blu-ray. That's the only reason I bought it.
You know, like the Paramount turning into the anthill? That was amazing.
I did like when that completely take it in a different movie, how that ship came out of the ground and just kind of ripped the topography. It just destroyed the landscape. It was a really cool visual idea, and they pulled it off, but it just didn't fit in that movie.
Too much damn CG too. Ugh.
Yeah, it looked terrible.
The monkey scene, come on, bro.
That's how you do a movie wrong. Just if you want to see how not to do a movie, watch that movie.
Yep.
There's really nothing good about it, honestly.
sequels and remakes, none of them seem to work. Nightmare on Elm Street was atrocious.
Oh God.
Atrocious.
Terminator 2 stands, right there with the original. Some say better, some say not.
What movie?
There's only like a handful of movies, Aliens, that are even on the same level. Most of them are just completely, either they just repeat the same story and it loses all its luster, because like a lot of movies, they just do the same things over and over. Like, oh, this worked in the first movie, let's do it in the second movie. Comedies do that a lot.
James Cameron's the only one that can make good sequels.
Basically. I mean, just, you look at a comedy...
Better than the original sometimes.
Yeah, like, we'll see with Avatar, since he's planning, I think he's planning 3 of them.
3 of them, yeah, supposed to go all the way to 4.
Oh, man, I don't know what story he's going to tell, but...
He takes his time, and he usually delivers.
That's the thing. You take your time to actually write the movie, because the first Transformers wasn't terrible, but they rush them out every 2 years. Like most people can't even write a movie in a 2-year time frame, let alone write it, get all the pre-production, get all the sets built, all that happening, film it, do all the CG. Like
it's a factory, man. It's an assembly line.
It's like Assassin's Creed for video game. Just take your time and write. If you got something good, then make a movie. If you don't make the movie.
True.
But don't take 20 years and then write Blade Runner 2 because you're out of ideas.
Yeah, because you're out of ideas. Just leave the classics alone, please.
I think Avatar is one of the few movies where it blended, because most of the characters were CGI. It felt less CGI because the whole movie was. It didn't stand out as much. The parts where the humans interacted, though, it blended so almost perfectly. I think.
That's the thing. Like, it was so well done.
They did have
meticulous.
Some foliage and stuff was actually real. I found out. I thought the whole forest was.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. That's merging practical with digital. If you have the real stuff, even if it's just in the immediate area around these people, you have that, and you blend it with the other, the CG. It just it just melts together a little bit, and you forget.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Since we're not talking games, I don't think as much of my audience is gonna want to listen to us talk about movies. So we're just gonna do some final thoughts for each of us, and then we're gonna bug out. So Ms. T, you got anything you want to say before we go? Or Jay?
I was just messing with you. I had to do it.
Motherfucker.
No, not really. It was a great talk. I could talk movies for days and days and days. That's my thing. But yeah, it was great. Looking forward to a lot of stuff. Probably more stuff next year than this year. But yeah, play Nintendo Fools and watch movies.
And that's I forgot to say at the beginning. We're doing a podcast about movies, and yet not once did we talk about the production company that funded each movie and how much that factors into whether we want to go see a movie or not. And I think video games are truly the only source of entertainment where people actually worry about who made it, like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Movies, no one cares that it's Universal, Sony Pictures, MGM, or Miramax, or whoever.
You care about the director sometimes.
I mean, we do, but I'd say 90+% of moviegoers don't even know the director.
Right.
So
it's just
they probably think Spielberg made Jurassic World. So,
I forget who made. Was it Johnson or something? I forget the guy's name that made Jurassic World, but
it's Trevorrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to think of something else, but
fail.
Yeah, I don't know every director of all these movies, but I mean, I could name 50 directors off the top of my head.
I remember him because he just got greenlit to do Star Wars Episode 9.
Okay.
He's gonna direct that, so.
And but anyway, I just think it's cool that movies can just kind of they just exist without really boundaries or walls. No one cares that the movie's PG-13. You don't have these 30-year-old dudes worrying about going to see Avengers because it's PG-13. No one cares. They want to just go see a good movie and get their money's worth, and that's why I wish the video game community could look at games like most people look at movies. So
yeah, the way we were praising Toy Story, like that wouldn't happen in video games.
Like, why are you watching that?
Too insecure, and when it comes to video games, for whatever reason, it's weird.
There's probably some people that wouldn't go see a Pixar movie or won't watch one, but I mean, it's not nearly as many people that say they can't see themselves playing a Mario game because it's too kiddie or something.
Right.
But anyway, Jay, you got anything you want to say, anything you want to promote or anything?
No, not really. I don't have anything. I've been kind of lazy lately, so.
Gamers at Large rollout. Then the re-rollout of Gamers at Large is happening this week, so.
Is it?
It's kind of big, yeah.
What do you guys? What's anything new? Is it just who's the members? Like who?
Just come subscribe and you'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You find out Sunday at 8:00.
That's good. I used to be part of the GNL network, but honestly, I just like not having to worry about doing my own thing. Even though if you guys ever wanted to invite me back or something, I would definitely do it.
You're welcome, obviously. Come on.
Yeah.
It is nice not to have to worry about if I disagree with somebody, on a philosophy level when it comes to their videos and stuff. It's nice to not have to worry about, oh man, they're part of the same community as me, so I feel obligated to stay subscribed and stuff. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Well, with the core members, you shouldn't have. You won't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
You won't have to worry about that.
I think that was only a few. But anyway, my final thoughts, and Jay's gonna love this. I'm gonna promote and hype up my current favorite TV show. It's a Netflix original series. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend it. But I will say, you have to have an open mind. I know. I can tell you right now. My parents, my brother definitely are very close-minded. They're not going to watch a show where one of the main characters is a transgender. They're not going to watch a show where one of the main characters is gay, and where one of the main characters is all Indian and the religion behind India and stuff, and which is a shame. I'm embarrassed sometimes to be. But my family's all older, and they're just very close-minded people. And so if you're like that, you don't watch Sense8 because you don't deserve to watch that show if you judge like that. So, but that being said, Wachowskis, they're not the brothers anymore because
they're the siblings.
Was it Larry before? Is now Laura, I think.
Yeah.
And they wrote the show along with this other person, Steven something, I forget his name.
And J. Michael Straczynski.
Who?
J. Michael Straczynski.
Oh, was that the guy? Okay.
That's the other guy, yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure his pedigree or anything, but for me, they totally redeemed themselves after The Matrix 2 and 3, and not having seen Jupiter Ascending, but seeing what I saw.
Speed Racer.
I actually enjoy Speed Racer, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
What this show is there's 8 people all connected somehow, psychically basically, and they can experience each other. They're all figuring this out during the first season. Just really great characters, really well written characters, great acting. I think the acting is, especially having such a big cast, I think everybody's does an amazing job. There's some humor there. There's some spirituality, I guess, but just very diverse. And that's the one thing. If you listen to our podcast a couple weeks ago, we were talking about diversity and for video game protagonists. In this show, it could be more diverse. There's still 4 white main characters out of the 8, but it's definitely diverse. And the idea behind it is really clever, and I just really like the character interactions, and the cinematography is top notch. It's the best. I mean, it's as good as they've ever done. The Wachowskis just really have an eye for that, and for me, they've completely redeemed themselves, and I can't wait to watch the finale probably tonight or tomorrow. And the season 2 got greenlit, which I'm skeptical because I thought Heroes was a pretty awesome show based on season 1, and then that show kind of fell apart for me. It kind of has that vibe, even though they're not like superheroes. And I don't know, man. It's just, for me, it's like I haven't felt this way about a show since I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender the first time, and that's my all-time favorite show. So I can't praise the show enough. I know Jay disagrees, but that's just my take. And if you want to try something new and open up your mind a little bit, check out Sense8. That's SENSE with the number 8 on Netflix. I think there's 12 or 13 episodes, and it's just a breath of fresh air, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's all I got to say about that, and that's going to be it for the Juice is Loose number 55. We'll be back to talking about gaming next week, hopefully, if there's something to talk about, and Red Knight doesn't have another 5-hour podcast where I basically say everything I need to say, and I had nothing left I had nothing left in the tank. So, but anyway, I want to thank Jay and T for joining me, and thank everybody who submitted questions and stuff. And we'll be back to the regular Juices Loose next week. So until then, we'll see ya.
See ya.